Welcome back to Vision of Victory. Your friend Ricardo Vaca. Today's special guest is Zach De León. Thanks for coming down, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, and he's a lead singer. He's a lead singer from La Malicia, a sick ass group. I've before I even found out he was gonna be a guest, I was already listening to you guys, bro.
Oh,
But yeah. But before you were Zach, the lead singer, man, of La Malicia, who were you?
just a normal kid. Like, like I had my own experiences in life, and I grew up the way I did. I found a passion in music when I was like, young, because my Nino, he was always into like guitar and singing and stuff, and I really looked up to him, and I still do. And like, in short, that was pretty much how I got interested in music initially.
Yeah. Is he a musician? Does he play?
Yeah, he plays guitar a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then, I think I was always, all my life I've been, oriented in an entrepreneurial sense. Entrepreneurially oriented.
Okay.
How would I say that?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have business and stuff like that. I remember when I was younger, there's like a church near my house. And on Sundays, a few Sundays out of a couple months, my dad and me and my brother, we had built a lemonade stand.
Oh, nice.
So on Sundays, sometimes we would go post up. And I was always really into like video games and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember like I had wanted to buy a Pokemon game. And it was like $40. Okay. So I didn't have any money. I didn't know how to get money. My parents pushed us to do this like lemonade stand. And I always bring up that story when I talk about like my life, because I feel like that was one of the things that,
like sparked the like to make money, the hustle,
even the know-how, because that was forget about the entrepreneurial aspect of it. Like that was the only way I actually knew how to make money.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It was like doing something like that. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really make money. My dad, he's in the trade, so he would always have side work on the weekends, and I would go like work with him.
Okay.
And like we'd get paid like $100 a day.
Yeah.
And like that was like cool money for me. I was like, hell yeah. So, into middle school, through all my childhood, I'd say, like I started off kinder through third grade at one school. I ended up moving to another school. I did the rest of third through the end of fifth. After that, I got into an incident with the PE teacher.
Oh,
and we were out at the yard one day, and we were jogging around. His name was Rafa. He was, I don't know where he was from, but I just know back then he was foreign. And he always had like a heavy accent. That's how I like knew.
Yeah.
But one day we were out at the yard, and we were running laps around the perimeter of the grass, and I tripped him.
Oh, shit.
And I don't clearly remember it because it was so long ago. This was like fifth grade. But I remember like I had a sweater on because I was always fat, and I always wanted to have like sweaters on me and stuff because I was insecure. So I remember he grabbed the hood of my sweater, and it felt like he choked me. He took me like all the way to the office like that. And I just remember it was like a big pedo, and my parents had to come down, and I think he might have gotten relocated, and they kicked me out of the school district because I was there on permit.
Oh, dang.
So I did sixth grade at my home district, and I struggled a lot because at this point I had already moved schools like twice.
Yeah.
So now I'm on to my third school, and it was a first year of middle school, and not knowing everybody was a really hard time for me. So I was really like, I guess miserable there too. And then I pleaded with my parents, please, like, I'm so miserable. I hated my life. I wanted to kill myself, literally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So 7th through half of 8th grade, I went to another school district. And I finished up there, but I started getting a little rambunctious. And I had too much fun. I, like, actually made friends, but this time making friends, like, I never really knew how to make friends. So I would kind of act out, you know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
And I would always be trying to make people laugh because I was overweight because I struggled and I was like sad a lot. And I also didn't have like friends. I was rambunctious to my family too. So, it was always a lot to handle. So I didn't really know like the correct way to like handle myself. So in 7th and 8th grade, when I moved to that new district, there was just a lot of incidents, too many incidents. I would get in like this little fight. And then I remember there was even one incident. This was my first strike. And I was so cool with all the adults in the office, and everybody like really was rooting for me, you know?
Yeah.
But I think there was some girl that I knew, and we were friends. And then this other kid that I knew, and we're actually like shout out to Graham. Like he was like, it turned out we actually worked together after this incident. But
Oh, really?
they were dating, I think, and I think I overheard from my other friend at the time, and he's like, "Oh, I think he pushed her or something," and I felt obligated to go like stand up for her,
Yeah, yeah.
even though I wasn't even friends with her
Yeah.
like that. So I think I was just trying to seem cool, to be honest. But I had gone. I think I like picked him up and like tried to slam him or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't like fuck him up or anything. Like it's not like we fought. Like I think he was more shaken up than anything.
Yeah.
But that was my first strike, and they were supposed to kick me out there. They gave me another chance, but I was on like probation per se. And then throughout the yard, we'd be playing like nut tap. So I remember we were going into, I think, my 6th or 7th period of that day, or it might have even been 4th. It was before lunch, because that's like the shittiest feeling, getting sent to the office before lunch. So
Can't play.
nothing, and I was right there in line, and I kept nut tapping this kid, and he kept like, this tall Asian kid, and he was super upset about it, and like, con buen razón, like, hoy en día looking back, like, that was fucked up, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man.
But I kept doing it to him, and he told on me, and I got sent to and luckily for him, that teacher really didn't like me either, because I was terror in his class, and that was enough to do it, and I got kicked out.
You were getting in trouble a lot, but you seem pretty smart, man. You have a good vocabulary.
I mean, I try nowadays.
And stuff? Did you have
I
good
did
grades?
have good grades. I always had pretty good grades. But that was never the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was always just me, like how I was
Just
acting and
Acting
stuff.
out,
So,
yeah.
you know, it was always tough for me to figure out how to be. So that's why I've had to put a lot of emphasis in my life to be able to maintain like relationships with people. Because as it is, like even in my music, like I've made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah,
you know, I've lost a lot of teams just for like treating people badly. And like it wasn't until I had experiences with business partners or with people that I would talk to, and it's like I really don't like the way that they're talking to me, you know? Because initially I was always a cool guy, and then I got kind of whacked because I was going through some shit and I was getting hurt too, you know? So I was projecting that hurt a lot of the times to people, and especially my equipo, you know? I couldn't contextualize that at the time, and I couldn't take accountability for it, you know? Because like Manny, for the first time being like, you know, like seriously hurt, even a year later, you know, I still couldn't stop playing the victim card, because I just felt like this is so unfair. You know, like how could life be like this? But, you know, life is like that for everyone. Yeah, for sure. You know, and that's, I don't know where I heard this.
Do you think you were like that because you weren't taught, or is it because you're young? Or why do you think?
It's definitely a choice. You know, especially the older you get, the less you kind of have the opportunity to say, oh, it's because I was raised that way, así nací. It's like, hoy en día, yo siento que eso no tiene caso ya. Like, a lot of Hispanic parents, for example, or family members, like we all have, maybe they're stuck in their ways.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but like we were talking about before we started the pod, like I think social media has a lot to do with the progression of the average person these days, because when you think about it, like the more easily accessible the information is, which is why we created all this media. You know, it's like the faster the development comes, you know, and that's the whole point. Like, I feel like the production rate, the, you know, progression rate of the world nowadays is a lot faster than it was even 50 years ago. You know what I mean? It's like probably 100 times, if not 1,000 times faster, you know? And I think it's only going to get faster. But
50 years ago, you couldn't even get a pod like this.
Exactly.
Any average Joe.
Pods didn't even exist. It didn't have any credibility or backing,
20 years
you know?
ago, bro, I think.
So, I mean, that being said, like, I think it's definitely a choice, like, on how people choose to act, you know, because hurt people, and it takes, that's what defines a good person. Is like, everyone's going to get hurt at some point in their life, inevitably. And
how did you unlearn all that? Because at some point you had to unlearn it, right?
I would say necessity, bro. Like, I really struggled. Like, to tell you the truth, like even Nigel could tell you, like, that shit was so hard for me, man. I had a really, really hard time. And, like, I improved myself. And every day I'm still trying to work on myself to become better because I had to out of necessity.
Yeah.
Like, I know I spoke about maintaining amistades, but más bien, it's like just being able to be happy, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's really the whole point.
Is
you
there
know,
a certain friendship or connection that you've lost?
Thank you.
That you've lost right now that you think back like, damn, man, like I messed that up.
Yeah. I talk about him a lot too, like to friends and people I meet. Like my friend Manny, he was not my last accordion player, but the one before.
Okay.
And I mean, I always look back on that one and it's like, he was older than me. He was like 28.
Okay.
But, you know, he doesn't speak English.
Okay, yeah.
And Spanish is my second language.
Mm-hmm.
So he would always work with me on my Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was from Los Mochis. And I just feel like the way that me and him stopped being friends, like, I regret it so much because how I treated him, like, it was so uncalled for, you know, because he meant a lot to me. Yeah. He was a good friend. He introduced me to people from that side, and it's like, it was cool because the type of person I am, I love to experience things.
Yeah.
You know, I like to meet new people. I like to, like, get new ideas because I feel like from new ideas is what stems growth. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's not possible to develop in a bubble. You get what I'm saying?
Correct, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, man. So when did you realize that your voice could, like, really change your life? If it's not change your life now?
Sorry, what was the question again?
Like, when did you realize that your voice could, like, change your life? Like, you know, being in the group and that you could sing.
There's a funny story behind that I always tell too. When I first, like, got into music and stuff, I was always really musically inclined because I was always, like, really into it. I always really enjoyed how music made me feel. You know what I mean? And for me, I struggled, like, maintaining friendships and stuff.
Yeah.
Just because whatever led to whatever, and, you know, I was just not in control of it at the time when I was younger. And a lot of the times I would just clock out and I would just have my AirPods in, or at the time it was headphones, you know. Like, I used to have this little iPod. Yeah. Not even a screen, like the little ones, like the MP3 iPods.
Okay.
So, I mean, it wasn't the oldest shit you could get, but it was from my era, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, as a kid. So I would have Kid Bop loaded up on there.
You listen to Kid Bop?
I listened to Kid Bop. And, I mean, that was kind of how it started. And I remember one time I was in the car with my mom, and I told her, like, I was young, and I told her, like, Mom, like, why can't I sing good? Why can't I? You know? I asked her a question like that.
You
and
said,
she's
why
like,
can you or why can't you?
No, why can't I? Like, why can't I sing good? You know, like, sometimes I sing and I think I sound good. She's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, look. And I think I tried to do some, like, crazy-ass run I had heard. I think it was like, and I went for it, and I think my voice cracked or whatever, and she, like, brushed it off, and I was like, I didn't even get offended. I was like, oh shit, maybe I'm tripping.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But I think as I got a little older, I think it's got to be like 8th grade. I was bored, and I had the acoustic right there, and I had it since I was younger, because my Nino and my dad had, like, gotten us one when I showed interest, but I never learned, you know. So I think 8th grade I started learning chords, and I would go on like the lyric pages. And I used to like a lot of alternative music too. Okay. Honestly, I love all music. Yeah. But, like, I would cover, like, Kings of Leon, like KG Elephant, like, stuff like that. Yeah. Even Sam Smith songs, like the Beatles songs. I would just like to sing everything that I liked. And in 8th grade, that's when I actually started singing, you know, like with the guitar and reading lyrics. And eventually after that, high school started, and the music for me didn't start up again until about COVID. And in COVID, I was bored. Like, I was in the house, and I was just, like, playing Call of Duty and smacking the vape. Like, there was nothing to do, you know, and everyone was cheating on homework. I had a girl, but it was, like, pulling teeth to get out there. Like, during COVID, I would get on a big ladder, and on my patio, it's, like, the top of the ceiling of the patio is flat. So I would go, like, lay up on the top of the patio. I'd get on a ladder and climb up on the patio and lay on top. And I would just stay up there for hours looking at, you know, like, clouds and shit or whatever. And I remember my cousin Frankie, he was into the music before I was and the whole culture because some of our family was like also into it, you know what I mean? And he was closer to them, and then through him I got influenced. And I remember this song came up through TikTok, Eslabon Armado, Dame Tu Calor. I liked that song and I had wanted to learn how to play it. So I was like trying hard. And I was like, dude, where do I even start? So I asked my Nino, I'm like, hey, can you help me figure out the chorus of this song? And well, he played American music, so he's playing like natural chords, you know what I mean? Or he's playing bar chords and stuff. But I don't think he had the expertise. And he was like, he gave me like this list of chords, and he was probably right on the chords and stuff, but I was just still so inexperienced. I didn't even know how to use it. But I would look up like Jorge Aguilar videos, like for the requinto and armonía and stuff. And then I learned all the positions and all like the scales. And I kind of just jumped into posting videos online. And I would post videos of myself. And then after I posted those videos, like I wanted to move on. So I started looking for people to play with. And then eventually I started gigging. But before that, to backtrack a little bit, I used a graphic design service that I didn't even know how to do. I taught myself how to graphic design in my senior year. And in graphic designing, I became acquainted with various different groups. Nobody like major or anything like that. But like even just locally or like out of town, but they were small, you know, like people would hit me up for logos and stuff. And I would start meeting different people, and then they would find my personal. And at the same time, my TikTok was doing like, you know, cool shit. Cause people are like, oh, he sings cool. You know what I mean? But that was like the last business that I had before I got fully like involved in music. Because after the lemonade stand, 8th grade, I started selling the chips and stuff at like lunch and stuff. I would do the frozen Powerades and chips and candies. And then freshman year, when I started at the other school, I had to, I was trying to like pitch clothing, like a clothing brand. And actually the kid that I had gotten into before, Graham, he, me and him worked together on some videos. I could actually show them to you too. They're still on Instagram. And we had a whole storyline. Like I storyboarded it and we just recorded it in his backyard, and he edited it like with whatever knowledge he knew how. I think nowadays he's doing like big productions for like the underground rap scene. And yeah, he gets like crane lifts and they go to like different countries. And but I think low-key he's plugged in at the same time, but that fool's talented.
For sure, man.
But yeah, so after the clothing brand, I got acquainted with him. We did our little thing. I didn't really like the clothing, but from the clothing, I had learned how to graphic design. So then, like, pretty much in junior year, that's when I started, like, taking a break from clothes. And I really started hitting it on the music. And I started jamming with this guy in Temple City, Zaid, who I met. But me and him, like, we don't really talk. I would still talk to him nowadays. I would rekindle, but we don't talk anymore. But I had started with him in my junior year. And then, well, I had known how to do the logo, so senior year came, and I got into reading books, which I got kind of put onto books from another kid that I met in 8th grade from the other school that I went to, who had, like, really successful parents. They were in, like, a good insurance business. His name was Robbie. He put me on, and he showed me a lot of books to read, so I had,
that explains your vocabulary then.
I've been around a lot of areas, so I meet a lot of different peers. But, I mean, with that, like, I got into the first book that I liked that he suggested to me was Never Split the Difference. I think it's Chris Voss.
Oh, yeah, I like that book.
So in senior year, I read that one. And for a while, I wanted to be a hostage investigator, negotiator. But I was
that
like,
one's really good for, like, for sales and stuff. Like,
yeah, and I would literally be taking people's money, dude. Like, I had no experience on graphic design, only from like the shitty shit I would do on my clothing brand.
If you remember, what's the number one thing that you learned from there that helped you in your life at that time or even now?
Work ethic. But I feel like my dad always helped me with work ethic. You know, my dad worked a lot, like most typical dads in trades that are Mexican and stuff. But I mean, for what it's worth, he did show me a lot. And one of the things he showed me was work ethic, especially going to work with him early on. But I think there's a difference because the work ethic that I taught myself and doing the graphic design and then selling it my senior year was like, I'm having to hustle and bustle, but I'm actually seeing growth because I started off and I think I was making $75. And I literally throughout the whole year that I was doing it, I scaled up and I was doing a logo for $250.
All sick, yeah.
So I was like, damn, I think I raised like 2.5, maybe like 4 bands max
Okay. Sick.
off of the graphics in senior year. And that was enough for
That's
me.
good money for senior year.
Yeah. So I mean,
high school.
I cut it off because I got way too busy at the half point of my senior year with music because we had a video on TikTok that hit.
Yeah.
And
so that was it La Malicia already or no?
That was already La Malicia and the Norteño part.
Okay.
So my first Norteño I ever had. And that was like the first place I really started gigging too. Because I would dabble in Sirreño, but that was really just like the kiddie pool for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I got up to Norteño and that's when it worked for me. So I would start gigging and stuff, and then we got a little bit of traction. So my attention went over there immediately. And at that point, I was checked out of school. Like, for me, that school was something, like, not necessarily natural, but sort of easy to me at the time. My grades were slipping, and it was just because I couldn't find the time. Because I would leave school, I would spark a Marlboro Red inside of my 1999 OBS Yukon.
Okay.
That was passed down from my grandma. And I would go, like, get off of school, smoke Marlboro Red, and head to, like, East LA or Boyle Heights with my friend Jay, who's actually in my group again now. But he's who I started with. And then...
what does he play?
He plays accordion.
Oh, okay.
I was going to bring him, but he couldn't get a ride.
For sure.
But, excuse me. So, yeah, I had gotten acquainted with Jay in Boyle Heights, who I met through another guy who I also want to mention, Alex Anthony. He stayed in, Harbor City.
Okay.
He stayed in Harbor City. He was from, I think, Nayarit. But he came here as an immigrant and young and by himself. So he was actually, like, you know, I think he was homeless for a bit.
Yeah.
But he really, like, he was one of the first people to take me under a wing.
Okay.
A wing. And through him, I got introduced to Angel, AP, who was playing for Grupo Los Chaca right now.
Okay.
And then Jay, I got acquainted through Alex too. And then because AP stayed over on that side, like, we were always going to, like, South Central Huntington Park area to practice, you know, and the last part of that senior year was just a ride, man. It was super fun. I was always picking up people. Like, we met Toro, like, we met Borrego, we met all these different people. We met Pollito, like, we were always going to Bell Gardens too. Like, I met Jag for the first time, and then now me and Jag are friends, you know, like, shit really comes full circle, you know what I mean? And for whatever reason, the universe, like, pushed me into that, you know, and everything that unfolded after that senior year has been a ride thus far. But now that life has come to for me.
Yeah. But besides the music, you have do you have another business?
At the moment, I'm just doing the music. Okay, so music slowed down, and then I needed a job. So I got a job in the bodega for my dad's company. Okay. So it was like the fabrication shop. Yeah. Sheet metal. So, I mean, it was cool, and I did it for about 4 months. But I was always arguing with people because I was just so miserable there. Yeah. Like, I was having a hard time with my girl too. Like, we were both in different, like, trade jobs. She was working for the government too at a Navy base. So it's like, you know, I don't know. It's like, that was the first time in my life that I had ever had, like, a job like that. Mm-hmm. Like, a big obligation, a commitment. And it was literally, like, there was some days where I wouldn't sleep because I would have either life going on or I had a gig the night before because we were popping at the time, and it was, like, Sunday too. And, like, I would finish gigging on a Sunday at 3 a.m. and I had to be in Commerce by freaking 4:30. Yeah. So I just go straight to my house, shower up, big jug of coffee and cigs, get a little pan from the gas station, and head over there. Yeah. You know, sleep 15 seconds in my car and then head into work and have to deal with everybody on my ass because I'm new, talking about, come on, Deleon, put some fucking pep in your step. It's like, fuck you, dude, I haven't slept. Yeah. And then you tell them any of that, and they're going to be like, it's not my fucking problem, bro. I didn't sleep a couple times, you know, because it's true. Like, cada quien. So
I remember that, dude. Back when I first started, I was working at a warehouse, and I was a welder. So we'd have a gig at Wednesday night at El Rodeo, and then I would go after that, just freaking all nighter, bro. Show up to work and work all
sin perico,
all tired. Yeah, sin.
Fuck that. But I mean, yeah, dude, like that's pretty much where it started. I needed a job, so I think I saved up like 8 bands, and I had put it into a Wows account that I didn't even care about, and I was like, I was so annoyed and like resentful towards that job, and I don't know why, but I was so resentful towards that job. I felt like I was slipping my group. I felt like my life was miserable again.
Yeah.
I didn't even touch the money for the longest. You know, I had left it there, and it actually served me well a couple times where I needed to dig into that cushion. So it's like I don't regret doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I ever need to work again,
yeah,
no me voy a fresar. You know what I mean? Like
so right now it's just all music.
all music. And then after the bodega gig, I tried getting into a restaurant, and I still found that the restaurant was like going, but the music was slipping again. So it was too hard to manage both.
Yeah, yeah.
So then I tried the group again, but this time, because I had been so absent prior, the group was kind of distant.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, how's the energy with your group? Like,
Hoy en día it's good with the equipo, but like at this time in specific, like with that exact team that we had, it was too distant, and it ended up falling apart. And once it fell apart, I got into renting cars. I started like dabbling my feet in that because I always wanted to. I always thought it was a good idea. I was always like, oh, it's like a cheat code.
You're talking like Turo stuff, or?
Yes, but unfortunately I didn't go to Turo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was renting cash. But, I mean, that's sort of what it was for me, and I wouldn't do it again. Just because, I mean, I'm not knocking it, and people are profitable. You know, it's prolific for a lot of people, but fuck that. I'm good off that because they fuck up your cars.
At least you tried it, bro, because some people are not willing to try it.
Yeah, you have to try, you know. I took a big loss off of the car rentals, but, I mean, lo que me ha dejado más is the music. So right now we're back to it, you know. Like,
back to the music, huh?
Yeah.
So I mean, is there a point that you ever, you know, that you wanted to walk away from music?
Yeah, dude.
Something that happened, or you're just...
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't really want to get into too much of like a lot of the stuff that went on, but within that two-year period, this last 2-year period, there was like there was times where I was like, dude, I don't even. This industry is so disgusting. Like, what goes on is so ugly, and like, I didn't even want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I adapted this lifestyle.
Yeah,
you know, I didn't grow up in this. Like, this was purely based off of a weird interest in COVID, and it flourished for me. Like, I found a knack. You know, so there was a point where I was like thinking about like, dude, like, I'm just gonna let this shit die out. Yeah. Cause I'm so unhappy, and like, I was just so miserable, man. Yeah. So miserable. But
what's the stuff that keeps you going though? Like,
for a long time, I had to find a reason to want to do music again. And even up until recently, I still couldn't figure it out. And
like, is it the joy that you feel when you play? Is it the joy like for your clients when they're dancing?
No, I don't even like that.
Is it like the magic of the music when you record, or you and your bandmates make? Like,
no. Like, for me at times, life has felt so like hard to live that I've had to find a reason or find a way to continue living. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Even in like my young adult age, not even referring to my childhood, like more things happened and I earned more experience in life, and unfortunately it was through trauma or like hard shit, like, or I'll just put it short, the real world. Yeah. You know, like, sometimes it pushes us to a terrible place, and you know, like, when you're so affected by something, or when life feels a certain way, like, it's really hard to separate yourself and your purpose from your experiences, because it's easy to be selfish and be like, dude, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, it'd be easier for me to not suffer. But it's like, there's nothing after. You know what I mean? There's nothing after. You know, and if you were to ask me nowadays what I'm scared of getting killed. I'm scared of like sickness. Like, I'm scared of that, you know. I would never kill myself, you know. I get it because depression is real and sometimes it's hard to control that. But,
Yeah.
you know, if I needed to, I would go to therapy.
Yeah.
I've been to therapy. I would go again if I needed to. Like,
Okay.
I would do what I had to do to make sure I didn't kill myself one way or another. I would pray
Yeah.
for the strength. Even if I couldn't find it within, like, I would pray for the strength because it's really a wicked feeling.
Yeah.
Like, just being, like, hopeless, like, not enjoying life.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's like, the reason that I like to play music, to answer your question, finally, is, like, it's not necessarily the way it makes me feel. Though it is, I love it.
Yeah.
And I also enjoy seeing the satisfaction that I bring to the client's face, you know,
Yeah.
and I like bringing the service side of it and the business and everything. But the reason why I'm doing this is not for the money. Because when I wanted to let this shit go, like, I had, like, a cool stack apart, you know, and I was like, fuck this money.
Yeah.
You know, like, money drove me for so long. And I was like, fuck that shit. Like, I didn't even care. And the reason that I'm still doing music is because I want to develop a voice. And, well, I don't know, man. I just feel like there's too much ingenuine people. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a lot of bullshit,
Yeah.
to tell you the truth. And it makes life annoying to live. Like, dealing with hard people, dealing with fake people, dealing with people who want to, like, follow the secular ways of the devil. Like, you know, like, people have pride and they drive off their ego and respect, but it's like, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say too much.
Interesting, bro, because you know, the way how you feel about it, and you know, the industry that you are in, it does get ugly, and people don't see that.
I mean, for me, like, the voice that I would like to portray is, like, whatever the world is needing, or whatever I feel like I need to put out there. You know, like, I spend a lot of time thinking. You know, I love to talk, but I also don't talk often. Like, I talk every day, don't get me wrong. I talk to my girl, I talk to my family, I talk to her family, I talk to my friends, I talk to my team, I talk to everybody. But, like, for the most part, I get bored easily. I get bored with life, you know? So it's like I need to always, you know, find the next angle about it. Like, I strive for a deeper understanding of everything. Like, what is this? Like, there can't just be, you know, this is it. Like, this is life. And the ultimate thing, of course, is happiness. But once you figure that out, it's so easy. But besides that, you know, like, it's too selfish to live for ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure, brother.
Like, for example, if I had a kid, if I did, right? Like, everyone wants to enjoy that. But for me, you know, like, initially I want to have that possessiveness over them. And I'll probably want to be like, no, like, I'm scared of everything, you know? But, you know, we don't belong to people. You know, we don't belong to our parents. And the children don't belong to the parents. Our kids don't belong to us. And it's like an abstract thing to say. But my reasoning is we all belong to the world in the sense that, you know, like, it's nobody's right to control anything. Like, we don't even control our own lives at times. So in the way that a parent strives to control a child, like, it's a tough concept to grasp.
It is, because you're doing it out of love, I would say.
But I think it's maybe a lesson that would be helpful, though, because, you know, when you live for yourself, you know, it's selfish and you want everything for you. You want everything for your family. You know? But if you see a greater purpose out there and something that needs attending to, it's like, you're going to die. You're going to die. Like, whether somebody guns you down, you know, the time the clock runs out, or you're sick, like, or whatever else, what other circumstances. There's so many ways to die. You will die. You know what I mean? And,
but
you know, I look at activists.
Say something. What did you want to say? Or you forgot? You good?
I mean, we're gonna die, so you might as well try to like be productive in society.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the bad people are always gonna exist, just as there's bad, there's good. You know, hoy en día, I've come to like know more of the bad world,
Okay, okay.
but the sole fact that the bad world exists, it gives me faith that there's a good world out there.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and whatever I can do to keep searching for, you know, the nicest thing in life to do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's all I can do, because sometimes when you think about all the scary shit in life, it feels easier to just log out.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but that's not an option.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I really hate the fact that I feel like this.
Yeah.
And if I feel like this, like, and I try my best to work on my emotional intelligence. So I try to be open-minded and stuff and take accountability. But if I'm struggling with it still, and it still makes me like miserable and dead inside, to feel like, it gives me a pit to think like the ugly shit.
Yeah.
You know, but it probably makes other people feel even worse. So it motivates me to try to help people. And I'm like, how the fuck can I do this? Like, I always think about it, and there's times where I'm just like beating myself up about it, dude. I'll talk to like my family, but I'll talk to my girl, and I'll talk to her about like some thoughts that I have sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'll tell her like, fuck, like I wish that life wasn't like this. Like, like it's just bothering me. Like I wish there was another way. Like, and I tell her like I hate that shit. Like we're talking about a topic, and I'm like, for example, I'm like, I hate that shit. Like, I wish I could change it. And she always tells me like, you're just one person, you know, like you can't do that. Like, and you don't see what happens. Like the guy that was assassinated, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my own ideas on that, but based upon the media, and we'll just go based upon that.
There's two things.
He was taken out for his voice.
What side are you on? Okay. What side are you on, bro? Conspiracy side, or is just?
I'm conspiracy with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm conspiracy with it.
His best friend always just blocked out, got on the phone, like nothing happened.
I know.
People are not even helping stop getting believed.
Yeah.
Dude, the governments is just like the streets.
But that goes back to what he's saying. When you
It's
start
power.
analyzing, and you
That's the
think about
common
all that
denominator.
stuff, you just start going crazy.
That's the common denominator. So like, you see all that evil like backdoor shit going on in the government. You know, it reminds me of shit that goes on in the street. You know what I mean?
It's everywhere, from the toppest to the bottom.
Bro, you're with somebody in the street and you guys start getting shot at or something, like everyone's gonna run. No one's gonna look out for each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Hell no.
and why do people even do shit like that? It's usually some sort of, in one way or another, a matter of power.
Yeah.
This government shit that happened, we both know the conspiracy.
Yeah.
That would also be an exemption of power. Like, that's the common denominator, and that's what really ties into pride, ego, and power in the world. You know what I mean? And, well, yeah. I mean, just to bring it back, that's the shit I hate, man.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could, like, filter it out and live my life how I want to, and that shit didn't exist, but it doesn't. So, like, the least I think is, like, dude, maybe I could try and make a change, and if not make a change, at least, you know, like, be a sense of support to like-minded people.
Yeah, for sure.
That are just trying to do, like,
Just
semi the right thing. Or maybe people who have done the wrong thing and are ready to take accountability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
like,
sure. That's huge, yeah.
it's really hard, you know, especially when you're so young. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, brother.
I'm sure with your kids and all that, some
Yeah.
just want to block him.
Exactly.
I was blocking that yesterday too.
Yeah.
I was blocking, calling my girl.
Yeah.
I just don't want.
Yeah.
Like, what are we gonna do? Like,
Life could get hard.
this shit is hard. Like, why are we here? But it's like shit. Okay, for example, like this podcast, right? Like, this is great. This is a great thing because this is like a life project. You know, this is gonna give you guys something like with leverage. Like, you guys control this show. You know what I mean? And in a world where nobody can control everything, and everybody wants power because power is the illusion of control. Like, if you're gonna do something, it probably won't last unless it's genuine. Everything done in the dark always comes to light. You know,
Dude, you are 100% on that.
I mean,
100%.
I hate that shit just as much as everybody, but you know, I'm grateful because without that, everything would be mundane. You know?
Yeah. But that's the reason why I started doing the podcast, because I wanted to be around like-minded people and learn from everybody that's, you know, entrepreneur, leadership, and just like redemption stories, man. Because what do we learn from redemption? We learn from failure,
progress.
You know, yeah, exactly. Growth. Unfortunately, but
growth only happens when you don't give up. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Shit is gonna go bad.
Yeah. Hey, bro, you were mentioning gunshots and stuff, and I was thinking, like, have you ever been playing at a party and the party's getting shot up?
Yeah. Like multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been through some shit as musicals. Like,
yeah.
You know, we've had like crazy experiences, but some of the more notable shit from those experiences was a lot of it came down to like substance intake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and beyond alcohol. So it's like,
Benico.
I remember at those gigs, like, I had my musicos there, and like, some of them grew up with like trauma from guns, for example. And like, I remember at that party, like this one notable time in Long Beach, like, we were like playing for a set, I'm pretty sure. But just for simplicity, like, that's what had gone down, you know? And I remember that one of my musicos, like, he was just getting shaken up, like, fuck. And we were feeling like, fuck, man, like,
were they shooting like up, or they were shooting like at each other?
They were in the front.
Oh, okay.
And I think they had like a whole AK.
Oh shit.
Excuse me. They were in the front. I think they had like a whole AK. And I mean, from our experience and shit, it's like, fuck, man, like, there's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah.
One thing I learned about being a músico is like, tú tienes que aguantar de todo. And that's why most people don't even fuck with it, you know? And tú tienes que aguantar de todo. And you just have to deal with it sometimes. Yeah. And if you don't want it to keep happening, that's a choice. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, whether somebody stands up for themselves or whether they remove themselves from the situation, like, don't get me wrong, like, I think that's the best option, because even if you stand up for yourself, like, that leaves the opportunity to grow pride. Yeah. And with pride comes retaliation. And it's just a vicious cycle. But the thing about cycles like that is, for each step, it has to be different. And the way that they're different is in severity. Yeah. So every time something happens, a conflict occurs, like, shit gets a little worse. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you stood up for yourself, but what are you going to do? Like, let's say the person had kids or something. Like, what if you had dependents? Like, dude, that just comes down to it. It's like, do you want to be selfish and work for your pride? Or do you want to, like, keep yourself safe and not be a fucking dummy? You know what I mean? Like, those fucking balls in between your legs is not enough. It's not worth your life. Fuck sure. That, bro. Like, there's only one, dude. And with all the amount of shit that can kill us, you better fucking hold on to the one you got, dude. So many people died before even reaching the age that we're at right now. Exactly. You know, and it's like, dude, you think about that, and it's like, oh, like, yeah, I have these great dreams and aspirations, you know? I was watching The Reckoning on Netflix today. Okay. And at it was like the first episode was talking about this, like, basketball fundraiser that he had in, I think, New York. And he over-promoted it. They sold out of tickets, and they bum rushed the event. And
that sounds like that Diddy event.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know about it until today.
That's what it's called, The Reckoning.
Oh, okay. That's a show, 50 Cent. Okay. So he went down the stairs. Everybody rushed down the stairs, but the door that was there opened this way, not that way. So everyone was like crumbling up, trying to open it that way, and they got stuck. And so many people got crushed right there. There was a bunch of people dying and dying and dying and dying. Yeah. And then there's like footage of Diddy coming by, and he's seeing like the bodies, and he's like, fuck. And you could tell, like, in his head, he's just thinking like, how am I going to get out of this one? Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, fuck it. I get it, right? Because I'm guilty of having like done some pretty shady shit. And then I'm like, how am I going to get myself out of this one? Because if you're thinking about it, it's like, bro, when you have some shit on your ass, it's like, I cannot go to jail. I cannot die. Yeah. You get desperate. You know what I mean? So I can see where he's coming from, although I don't agree with it nowadays, and I would still try to like do the noble thing, even though it would be hard. Yeah. I just see shit like that, and it's like there's just bodies, and como dicen la gente, NPCs se parecen. Yeah. So it's like dude, they're lifting people out like fucking NPCs, and like this fucking film itself is honoring this fucking guy, and it's showing footage of him like all stressed about it. And right, obviously from a cinematic standpoint, they implemented that into the movie to give the viewer that comprehension of that event, right? What happened and how he was, right? To paint that picture. That's why they showed him like that. But it still doesn't change the fact that like there's no fucking difference between all the people that were being wheeled out and fucking Diddy. Like, I get it. Diddy is influential and very successful, and ultimately, you know, he figured something out one way or another. We can't deny that, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, so of course credits to Diddy in that sense, but it's like,
I think power takes over. You were speaking on it. You know, having
like
the pride, the power.
But yeah, that's my thing. Is like he's the same though. Like all those people being wheeled out, it's like their story ended right there, and his kept going.
Kept going. Yeah.
But that's the shitty part about life, is that it's like his kept going because he fought for it to keep going. Yeah. To keep going, Digo.
You know what else comes to mind?
Not because it was supposed to.
Yeah. You know what comes to mind is that he was doing all that, whatever he was doing, whether he's guilty, but it took, no matter what, it always comes out to light, dude. You could do bad so long, but it's always gonna come out.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, like, I really wish that there was a way for everybody in the world to not kill each other and to live in harmony. Yeah. To not act against each other. I wish that there was a way for everybody to, like, genuinely do the right thing, so that there didn't have to be any situations like this whole Diddy thing. It's like, there don't have to be situations where people feel like there's, like, survival of the fittest. Like, I hate the fact that that's the way the world is. Yeah. Because regardless of how advanced we are, it's still survival of the fittest. If I came into this podcast room with bad intentions, like, that would have been reality. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's the very shitty part of life. It is fucking survival of the fittest, because Diddy should have been probably fucking dead multiple times. Yeah. But the fact that he was so fucking desperate to survive, he was one of the fittest. Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, the people at the fucking event that got trampled were not.
We're not, then. Yeah.
And I wish that wasn't the case. And that's part of the problem that I have. Yeah. Battling las injusticias del mundo. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But it takes a certain pill to swallow to come to terms with the fact that that's how the world is. So if I can do anything with my time here, I just want to figure out a really good way to make a good difference. Yeah. Like, that's what I genuinely want. Yeah, yeah. And if anybody else were to ask me this information, I would probably not talk about it in depth, because most people wouldn't understand, or most people would, they have their own philosophies, right? Yeah. You know, so my personal philosophy, I'm sure a lot of people share it. Yeah. But I know a lot of people don't. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But you being so passionate about it, do you think that maybe you should talk about it, even though you feel like they're not going to understand?
Maybe not individually. And I was actually just speaking about this on the way over here with my mom. You know, like, because she told me the same thing. She's like, well, I get what you're saying, how you can't save everyone, but like, what's stopping you? Like, that wouldn't be anything bad to try and touch each person individually, even though it might take a lot of time. Yeah. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, you know what, you have a point, but at the same time, like, what if I sacrificed a little bit of the esfuerzo that I would put into helping people individually and still help them individually, but not so much, because maybe I could use that extra time to do it minimally, to focus on trying to help people as a whole, trying to help people as a mass. Yeah, yeah. Because it's like, here's a weird question. There's 17 children choking, and there's your kid choking. And you can either trade 17 choking children or you're one kid. It's like, what do people do? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, you help one person or you help everyone. It's like, yes, I can touch a few people in my community, and I can travel and I can try to touch as many people personally as I can. But at the same time, maybe there's a smarter way to go about it. You know, which I'm sure many people have already come to this contextualization and consensus in their life. But me at my ripe age of 20, like, I'm barely making these correlations. So I'm trying to start getting into following more like world leaders. I'm trying to get into following more like things like that, to really understand like why it is that those things exist. Yeah. And it's like, there cannot be a way that I can't try to do something, you know, like without dying. Like, I don't know.
What's one leader that you look up to?
I don't know.
You don't have one?
No. I try. Well, it's going to sound really, really like bad. I mean, let me actually rephrase my thought. Instead of leaders, for example, I would say that I've had a lot of influential people in my life.
Okay.
And it's hard to pinpoint, but I think even if I mentioned their name, that's probably one person. So if somebody's interested, any of the names that I mentioned have influenced me in some way. But there's so many more I could mention. But, you know, I would say just meeting people like that has helped me grow. And meeting good people has helped me grow. Meeting good people has also helped me grow, because it's like I really thought this was this way, and it's not that way. So, I mean,
5 minutes? Damn, you went deep on me, bro, for a long time.
But yeah.
But let's see, bro. What's one truth about your life right now that your fans don't know and that you're willing to share with us?
Shit. I struggle too.
Yeah.
Toco batallar.
But so all right, let me give you a good one, bro. So how do ego, loyalty, and your culture shape your life in the music group?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
How does your ego and loyalty and the culture shape life inside of the music group?
So I guess I'll start this by talking a little bit about the group at the moment. I have Jay, I have Jose, I have Jose. Well, I'm trying to get Jose, but if he stays with his group, fine.
Yeah.
But I have Jose, Jay, and maybe Jose.
You got to use that book, bro. Get them on.
Yeah, we try. But, I mean, I really enjoy the camaraderie because it's a different vibe. I mean, and I'm not going to say it in a way that makes it seem like I couldn't have had that vibe with any of the other people that I previously had in my group, because I could have. But a lot of it was like I personally was not capable at the time of connecting with people like that. And beyond that, I didn't know what's up, you know? Like, I didn't know how to fucking be. So, you know, like, I don't know. Like, to answer the question in short, I try not to have ego. And, like, those are some of the things that I go into it with, is, like, I try never to count anything out, because I feel like every person has potential. And, like, teamwork definitely makes the dream work.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like, financially, that's one major thing I'll say, is, like, that's nice to have a team.
Yeah.
But there's a million other reasons why it's nice to have a team and why it's necessary. You know, the finance is one, but it's like more than anything, you need support. You know, like you need a faction to really like move anything, you know. So I try not to have ego, because there's no place for ego in a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no place for pride in a team, you know, because the point is not to have power over one another. The point is to be productive and create.
Awesome. Yeah. So what's the biggest victory that your team is chasing right now?
Trying to figure out how to convey that voice in the music. So just working on lyricism. And we have a couple things coming out soon that we're recording this week. We already recorded. We're going to finish them up. But in those lyrics, like, I tried to make them a little more general. Okay. About, like, life and stuff, because...
Yeah, can't wait to hear it, bro.
I don't really enjoy
you guys
music.
Sound sick. You guys are a really good group.
Thank you,
I like
bro.
it.
Like, but my point in doing that, too, is, like, I don't really enjoy listening to a lot of music nowadays.
Okay.
Besides some of it I can't relate to. Even if I can't relate to it, if it's still a cool story, I'll fuck with it. But I just feel like a lot of it is, like, very, very secular. And it's almost like it's just straight veneno. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like there's a cool way to convey a positive message. So
awesome, bro.
That's
can't wait to hear it.
That's one of the victories we're trying to
to grasp it.
It's trying to figure out how to do it good.
Yeah, man. If your future kids or fans watch this 10 years from now, what do you want them to learn from your journey?
Shit's hard, and it sucks, but we're gonna figure it out.
Hell yeah.
You know.
And where can we find you, bro? Social media.
Social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Okay.
La Malicia.
You have a personal one or no?
Deleon _ La Malicia. The Instagram title for the group, La Malicia _oficial.
Yeah.
We're also on like Apple Music,
Okay.
Spotify, but we haven't dropped any bangers quite yet. But go check them out anyways. Maybe they'll be up by then.
Yeah. Well, you got some good old school ones, so I was jamming to those.
But yeah,
thank you, Zach.
You know.
Thank you for coming out, bro. For your time.
Thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate you guys. You know.